I'm not a writer.
Okay.
You're listening to the Smooth Hour with me, Dan Granham, and Marcus. Sneezy still. So we're going to be putting on some fine tunes for you ladies.
We're not putting on anything.
No,
we're not putting on anything.
a little bit of music at the beginning, which is quite like hip, trip hop.
Yeah, I quite like that.
Double
actually.
trip hop.
Yeah, double trip hop.
Double trip hop.
So he fell over twice.
Yeah.
And then he hopped.
Yeah. Trip hop.
It's a new triple jump. Trip hop. Yeah.
Trip hop.
Yeah.
You don't actually fall on the first trip. You're like trip again.
Yeah, trip again, and
then you hop back up like to redeem yourself.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 5 of our AudioStage podcast. This is the first one that we're doing that is no video.
No video. Well,
okay, by last week's one, but that was because there was synchronization problem on my end. But to be honest, I think we made the decision just because I think we like to do these a bit longer than.
Yeah, people don't want to see our faces.
People aren't going to sit there for 40 minutes listening to this. But where, an audio only version, which will be accessible on SoundCloud and hopefully soon Spotify.
Yeah, that'll be good.
People can then just listen to this on their way to work or in the evening or whenever they listen to podcasts. I don't know when people listen to podcasts.
In the car, a lot of the time, I think. Yeah.
Hannah listens. My wife listens to them. In bed.
In bed?
Yeah, sleeping.
Better than listen to you.
Well, maybe. And I only introduce her as my wife. You know Hannah.
I know.
But some people might not. Hannah, yeah. So I'm just specifying that for the
listeners.
Yeah, for the 6 listeners.
Yeah.
Which is me, you, Mum,
Hannah,
Dad, and Hannah. That's it.
And probably only one of my parents.
Yeah. Yeah. Just or consecutively, like each week, you know.
Yeah. They alternate.
Yeah. And they fight over who's going
to only
have
get
to
access
listen
to the computer once a week.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. And it's only one person at a time.
Unless they're the same person, of course.
Yeah. They are actually.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought they might be.
They are.
I mean, as per usual, we're going off track. You know.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
That was nice.
I know, it's disgusting, was it? Yeah. I feel so ill.
I'm
dying.
Though.
I've got man flu. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's actual man flu or whether it's like
an actual cold.
An actual cold, yeah.
Yeah, because you had this a couple of
weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and then you've still had it. But I've had a cough and a cold sort of come and go like twice in that period.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've either not got over it or
I've had a consistent cough all the way through, but then probably about a week ago I got ill. And I'm talking ill. Yeah, I felt ill.
Well, you're looking shit, so
cheers, mate. Yeah, that's why we're not doing the cameras today.
That is the only reason. It's nothing to do with
really deep down. It's because I'm
god awful, and we'll just lose
subs. We'll lose all the subs. They'll look at me and go, "That guy needs help."
Yeah.
They'll start up a GoFundMe.
Yeah. Help Marcus.
Get him some strepsils.
Get Marcus strepsils.
Yeah, exactly. Just if anyone's listening, bring.
It'd be the most underfunded campaigin.
It probably
today.
Would be. Yeah. I'm only looking to raise £4.99,
which is just enough for one pack.
Which is enough for one pack. I think
or 2, depending on where you go.
That's true. Yeah, your local shop. Oh god, I spent £4.99.
What local
shop? I got 12 capsules.
Where was this?
Round the corner.
Budgeons.
I think so.
Other supermarket chains are available.
They are, yeah, and probably a lot cheaper as well. Yeah,
Budgies is expensive.
He's expensive. He is.
Old Budgie.
Yeah, Budgie. Yeah.
Was it Londis?
No, Londis. I think it was
the one with the fuel station.
Yeah.
Other fuel stations are available.
Are they? Yeah. I went to Shell earlier, actually. Yeah.
Shell. I'm quite. I like Esso.
Do you?
You can get club car points there now. Tesco club.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I collect, family man.
Family man.
Get the points in. Get the
points in. No, I tend to avoid
fueling up at all.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I just blow into the tank.
And hope for the best.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, what are we in? 7 minutes in? And we've not even told anybody what we're talking about.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Yeah. So I think what we'll talk about this week, and what I kind of think is important, is youth in music.
Youth
and sort of like the importance of learning an instrument.
Yeah.
And I guess it's kind of importance of learning an instrument at a young age. Not saying that, you know, if you're older and you don't play an instrument that you can't, but just from the fact that we both started when we were young and how that affected us in terms of, well, I assume so.
That's interesting. Yeah.
You were definitely young when you started an instrument, surely.
No, I wasn't actually.
Go on then.
I picked up a guitar when I was 15.
Really?
Yeah.
That's still young. I thought it was much before that.
So it was interesting because when I left school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I basically went, right, I'm going to do the first diploma at college. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I was like, I just decided, I was like, right, I'm going to do music. So I picked up a guitar, started learning the guitar in that summer.
Right.
Yep. Started learning guitar that summer.
And I
went to college.
Band with you.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That doesn't bode well for me because I started when I was 12 and you're a better guitarist than me by a long way.
Well.
And that's why I switched to bass.
Yeah. No, it's just kind of, I got obsessive about it. I practiced like 9 or 10 hours a day.
Yeah, see, I wasn't doing that. I mean, I was in bands, and I had other mates that played instruments as well. Mitch Ramsey from Voices from Fuselage. Yeah. We lived in the same village, and we played in bands and played guitar together and stuff like that. So I was doing all of that, but I wasn't like, it wasn't like a religious thing. Like, no, I wasn't there. Like, I was really interested in it, but I was dividing up my time with a lot of different things. Yeah. But never, like, I've never been one for doing like multiple hours a day. Like, it'd be like half hour. Yeah. And I guess that's where the difference probably.
That was it. I just kind of like did so much within such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
That was like obsessive.
That's impressive though. I didn't know that. No. I thought you started about the same age as me.
Wasn't even interested.
Because Johnny, who we went to college with, and our drummer in college, I think he started around 11 or 12.
Oh, he started young. Yeah, he was. I think he was actually doing some pretty good gigs at like 14, 15 years old. He was.
Yeah, because he did with that Greg or whatever his name was.
Gregory Colson.
Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Well, there you go. You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
So okay, so youth in music.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it in terms of like from a, because there's a lot that goes sort of around nowadays, like with young people sort of out on the streets and causing problems, and also not really knowing what to do. And
no direction. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess there obviously are people still learning instruments and still, but there seems to be more people like just hanging around doing nothing than there was when I was like 13, 14. And that's only been like 12 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm 27 next month. So it's not that long a stretch since I was sort of learning guitar and sort of out and about and stuff. But it just seems that nowadays there's more young people just doing nothing,
hanging about.
Yeah.
There is. There's a lot of them. I think that it's a bit of an issue, really. I think that when you give a kid, I suppose, purpose and put an instrument in their hands and say to them, we're going to do performances and going to do all these sorts of things, then they kind of take to it and they start to develop discipline and they go, right, this is what I'm going to do, basically, and rather than just hanging around and doing nothing, they feel like they have a sense of purpose.
Yeah, it's also the sense of achievement as well. Once if you you learn something on whatever instrument you're doing, or even singing and rapping, like that is that achievement side of things.
Yeah.
Which I think really sort of people like to achieve things.
Absolutely, yeah. I think you get a sense of well-being, a sense of fulfillment.
I mean, I certainly did. I always, I found it cool when I could do something different on the guitar, and you saw your progression, you saw yourself getting better, and then you're able to like meet like-minded people, and then you get together with them, and you start creating music, and
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of go from there. So one thing that I wanted to touch on is, at the minute there's a lot of things in politics, like a lot of people saying that rap music is like influencing, gun violence and street crime. Street crime. I guess I don't know what the actual terms are, but a lot of the lyrics from these songs are sort of almost causing these problems. What's your take?
Oh yeah, it's really difficult. I think that they are influencing children in a way, not deliberately, and a lot of the time they're going, well, our music's 18 plus or whatever, parental advisory, shouldn't be listening to this sort of music, but kids are getting hold of it. And they are being directly influenced by these things. There's no other way of putting it, and I think that that sometimes artists do need to take responsibility for that. They need to start to look at the things that they're talking about, gang affiliation and stuff like that. And it almost seems cool to do it.
Yeah.
You listen to these rappers and you go, oh, that's really cool, he's in this gang, whatever, like, interestingly, it was actually passed in court, Tekashi 6ix9ine, who's like one of these SoundCloudy type rappery things. He actually has been banned by court of law for mentioning the gang that he goes with is something like Treyway or something like that, for mentioning that or trying to be affiliated.
Other gangs are available to join.
Yeah. But yeah, it's actually been he's been legally stopped from talking about it in songs, which is very interesting that they've sort of like censored him in that sense. But I think that's just getting to a point where it's like, well, what more do we do with you? Like, if you're not going to censor yourself and try to understand that you have influence over people, and that some people are very easily led, then the fact that a court has to intervene and say, well, you're not allowed to do this anymore, we're making it the law. That seems a bit crazy to me.
Yeah, is. But then that it's hard, isn't it? Because that guy is obviously only being creative in his own way. But I guess it's how you tell that story, isn't it? If he's literally going about it, telling it how it is, that's probably the issue.
Yeah, I think the problem is glorifying it.
Yeah, there's ways of changing it up. I mean, there's millions of songs about sex and drugs and stuff, but they're not directly saying.
No, exactly. Yeah,
saying that, and they're not. Sex is sex, and there's a lot of drugs that are very bad and cause a lot of problems.
Yeah,
but those songs are always like, you never ever hear anyone just going full at it saying about needles and cocaine, and like it's always like.
No, exactly.
Tweaked a little bit to suit the song, but still, they're still being creative and talking about what they want to talk about. Where, like what you're saying, if he's going out there just literally saying exactly how it is and glorifying it,
it is interesting because it is, But you've had that for years. It's just interesting that now it's suddenly all of a sudden an issue, because I mean, you look at rappers throughout the generations, you look at like 50 Cent and The Game, last decade. Then you look at, Tupac and Biggie, and they're a real like East Side, West Side thing. It's a real big thing. And it was like, these guys are perpetuating gang culture, and it's almost like, well, people want to be involved in that because it seems cool. My idols are doing that. And it's like, well, is that really responsible, And I think that, unfortunately, kids are so easily led. You probably don't know who you are until you're at least 21, 22. Like, and then you're starting to discover who you are. You're going, oh my God, this is who I am. I'm happy with myself. But when you have kids who are like from the age of like 12 to 18, 19, they're still being influenced by these things, and they're still going, right, this is what I'm going to be into. And this is the way I'm going to act. And it seems like they don't quite understand the pressures that are on them to act in a certain way. By saying like, oh yeah, I'm into this. And it's like, well, why have you, if you're into that sort of music, why don't you why aren't you in a gang, or why do you not like talk about like all that sort of stuff? Or you think you're like hip hop, or you think you're like a gangster? Like, no, I just like gangster rap.
Yeah.
Like, and you could say that at like, 25, 26, but when you're like in school or whatever, and you're going, oh, you listen to hip hop, you think you're a gangster. It's like, oh, well, maybe I have to act like one.
Yeah, being influenced that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's kind of, I mean, this is the way at least the media portrays it, and I could be completely wrong, but it seems that at the minute it's very much sort of one type of music, one genre that gets the full flack of influence, and it's rap, grime, hip hop type music. Where when you look back at, obviously it was before our time because we were born in the early 90s, but
yeah.
And I don't think it happens now, but if you look back at like the 80s when you had mods, rockers, and punks,
absolutely.
And skinheads, I mean, they were obviously causing shit ton of problems, fighting each other just because they were on at certain, cliques or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But I don't think, is that just because that's phased out? You don't really get people that are actually like fully fledged punks anymore that are going out in. Do you think that's now been taken over by, because you still had things like in the 80s hip hop and that was coming in, but it wasn't, maybe it wasn't that type of, maybe that
I think you still
gangster rap wasn't really a proper thing then. Maybe is it just transitioned into that genre now, and in 10, 15 years is it going to be a different?
No, I think that basically it's always been prevalent within that society. I think that especially because when you consider that hip hop and rap are like, well, it's hip hop is predominantly sort of like black culture, and that you get. It's a lot of people saying that, well, like, this is because it's a black culture, you get almost the problems that come with, I suppose, certain societies. And I think that, when you see like in America how, like large percentage of, African Americans are sort of like put into very crammed in housing estates, and like, where that their only chance of sort of getting out is, well, you're either a musician or you're a sports person.
Yeah,
those are your options out of this sort of society. Otherwise, you better start dealing drugs. You better start, stealing and all these sorts of things, or like getting into a gang. And it's like, those are your two options. Like, it's very strange. It's like, it's like Haku actually says in one of his lyrics, he says, like, we belong in music and sports.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's like that's like the only way. Whereas it's like, no, actually, if you're getting it now, where you're getting a lot more sort of like scholarships, especially for like minority groups and things, but that shouldn't be the case. Like, it should be very equal. But what you're having is from that sort of, I suppose, that kind of holding society, you're getting now a whole culture that comes with it.
Yeah.
And it's massively gang influenced. Hip hop is hugely gang influenced.
But what's funny, right? Is speaking about sort of like people's like living situations in certain areas, how it is very much the music that's influencing, because you'll get some posh kid that lives in a 5-bed house, like posh estate, coming out like on the street as a grime artist, like just but rapping about things that are not relevant to them. And I'm not saying that they can't go and rap and speak about what they want to speak about, but it's never relevant to them. Like, they always go on about like gun crime and doing this and doing that, and it's not. They don't obviously do that. So they've obviously mimicked.
Yeah, absolutely.
What these people who actually may be in those situations.
Yeah.
And is that, so in that sense, I guess that is a problem.
The point of influence, doesn't it? Really, like what we're talking about. These people are influenced by certain cultures, and then they're going, well, I might be a middle class kid that comes from quite a well off family, but at the same time, I'm going to start to try and relate to this sort of culture. It's like, you have no idea.
I'm not saying that they don't have their problems. Everyone's got problems.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But maybe if you like that type of music, make it your own and rap about the issues that you've got, you know, I think that's
like your maid hasn't put your boxes away properly or something.
Like your mum didn't iron your socks.
Oh, mum's not put my college fund through properly.
Oh gosh, she's put. I got too much money this month.
I got too much money. Yeah, how am I going to live?
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird. But then what's the fix? Is it the artists that? Because the thing is, those people that are rapping about, and I'm guessing there will be bands that are singing in rock bands and things that are still influencing certain people. But I guess it is primarily, rap and grime and hip hop music that is, causing it. But like, what's the fit? Is it the artist that's got to change it? Because they're only singing about and rapping about what they know.
Yeah, I think the thing is that this culture will only exist as long as society wants to make it a thing.
Yeah,
and that actually gang culture and all these sorts of things, they come out of desperation.
Mm-hmm.
These people are you've got people trying to sell drugs to feed themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it is, and the unfortunate thing about that is that the only way out of that is to become more prosperous and make more money and get themselves out of those situations. And that's where they go, right, I'm going to be a rapper. I'm going to talk about what I know.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, well, if you got rid of the poorness and all that sort of thing, what would you have to talk about?
Yeah.
What would you be able to actually have lyrics that
but then
relevant?
does this go back round to like politics again and certain governments not helping certain areas and certain people out?
Absolutely.
So, although they're blaming the music on the problem, causing like gang violence and news just causing problems.
Yeah,
it's also themselves. I'm not saying that they're not responsible really for everyone's.
I think they are,
but I think everyone should be responsible for themselves in some way. They're not the parents of the world. Everyone's got to have their own. But I do agree. I mean, when you're living in a society where, they collect your rubbish and, you rely on the government for certain things to be done and you're paying them for it, then yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think the thing is, at the end of the day, the government should be responsible for the people that live within their governed society.
Yeah.
So, when you look at it and you go, well, for some reason, all of these communities are struggling. You're having a lot of homelessness. You've got a lot of drug addiction problems. It's the responsibility of the government to actually look at that and say, how can we change that?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like the way I look at a good government is I look at the poorest society, the poorest in their society, and I go, how are they living? Mm-hmm. And if they're drug addicted and they're on the streets and all these sorts of things, you're going, well, that government is failing because it's failing. You don't look at the top and go, right, that government's doing well, that society's doing really well. You look at the bottom and you go, well, if these guys aren't even like affording to put food on the table or anything like that, then the government needs to do better.
Yeah.
And we're getting it over here now. America's had it for years and years. And I'm no politician. I don't know how to fix the problems of the world.
No.
But I think at the end of the day, if they started to try and look at ways to help these communities prosper, rather than having to rely on, say, Nicki Minaj paying for your college books. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, like, why should Nicki Minaj have to pay for your college books because you tweet her and say, can I get this?
Yeah.
Hell no, that's not okay.
Money's often seems directed in the wrong way and into the wrong places. And it's not just in politics that money's directed in the wrong places. In certain areas of work, I guess, like the silly amount that football players are paid.
Yeah,
and the silly amount some A-class celebrities and musicians are paid. Like, there's no. I'm not saying like, because obviously everyone has worked hard to be in that position.
Yeah.
but there's no reason that a footballer should be being paid, thousands and thousands of pounds a week.
Yeah.
When you've got someone who's working harder in a sense and getting next to nothing. Like it's illogical for someone who shepherds a bit of leather around an outdoor field into an outdoor cupboard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is exactly what happens.
Thousands of pounds. And I'm not a football person, if you can't tell.
Yeah, but, I think the thing is though,
and I don't want any football hooligans coming after me.
They will all.
That's just.
What do you say about shepherding a bit of leather?
Yeah,
I think
Ronaldo's doing well this series.
He is, this series. He's actually overtaken Selena Gomez.
Yeah, I thought he would.
On Instagram.
Yeah, I like that time he kicked the ball.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
and now he's doing the thing for the cup, isn't he?
He's
gold cup.
Yeah, some
champion
sort of cup. Yeah,
champion league.
Drinking from it, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Isn't it?
Drinking from the cup. Yeah, had a cup of
Honestly,
tea. I think.
I'm not that bad with football, but I don't know much about it.
Yeah, I don't either. Really.
But yeah, anyway, we're going off topic. Money is directed in the wrong places, and if it was funded into, bad neighbourhoods,
I think those are private companies. At the end of the day, I think we spent far too much of our
they're getting
tax.
Money from somewhere.
Well, no, they're getting money from the individuals who buy tickets and sponsorships. Yeah. That's what it is. Is that the idiots who go out there and buy season tickets every year, even though they increase in price all the time, and then you get the sponsorships from, I don't know, Barclaycard for the Premier League and all these sorts of things. And you go, well, you guys are putting the money into this, but it's like our problem is that yes, we pay tax as individuals. We don't choose where our tax goes.
Yeah.
I would sooner, I'd rather not have, 60% of my tax go on the armed forces.
Well, yeah.
Things like that. I'd rather see more of it go into our health
AudioStage.
service.
Oh yeah, health service.
Yeah. Things like that.
100% agree on that.
And then like grants for for university applicants and things like that. Try and get people. I think further education should be free.
Yeah.
I don't think people should be paying for university. There's untapped minds out there. There's a kid sitting in a council estate who's never going to be able to see a university hall,
but might be the one who has the cure for cancer.
Exactly. Yeah.
Although cancer could probably be cured by now, or already has.
It already has. It's actually legislated against the US legislation that it's illegal to cure cancer.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of the amount of money it makes.
Yeah. It's cure it.
I think for like the what's it called? Like what do they call it?
Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, where they're paying for drugs to sort of keep
it's the second largest money earner in the world.
Yeah.
First is war.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
War and cancer.
How stupid is that?
Important for the human race, evidently.
Of course.
Yeah.
But then there is I'm not going to go into that, but there is a population problem too.
There absolutely is.
Just saying. I mean, I don't want to get.
You're contributing to it with your 3 kids.
Yeah.
Couldn't you have stopped after 1?
Yeah, but you don't understand how important the Granham bloodline is.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. One of them is going to be the cure for cancer.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's me.
That's it.
Yeah. Nothing to do with my kids.
No,
I am the.
You are the cure for cancer.
Yeah, and I'm going to discover it on this podcast.
Yeah, I think you are as well. Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Get the test tubes.
If that happens,
but
I just drop a drink and mixes with some dirt on the carpet, and that's it. That's the stuff.
Yeah, and then you go, oh.
I don't know at which point I'm going to connect those two things together.
You might get cancer and then fall on
cancer in the foot. I tread in it,
and then you tread in it,
and then I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have it anymore,
and then I sell it for nothing,
which is great.
Yeah,
which would be a really good idea. It's like that.
And then I have a statue of me in the main cities in the world, sort of like
in every city in the world. Yeah,
just like gold statue, big gold statue.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah.
That's never going.
That's why we do it. That's why we do AudioStage.
Yeah, and that's why we started it. Really, gold
statues.
Yeah. I'll have a little statue of you next to me as like a contributor.
As a contributor, yeah, a little one. Yeah, It'll be like a statue of you with me under your foot.
Yeah,
like
holding it up.
Yeah. That's what it'll be. Yeah.
Interesting.
I quite like it. Yeah.
So apart from going off topic again, that's. I mean, to be honest, I'm hugely underqualified for really discussing this sort of stuff, but I can have an opinion on it. Of course, like everybody can. I don't know. I don't know what's right and what's good. It's got to be difficult. You do. Yeah. It's got to be difficult running a government and keeping the entire world happy. Well, your country happy.
It is, yeah.
That's a tall order. But if you're going to do it and charge for it, for taxes and everything else.
Yeah, stop going to war. Stop giving your mates backhanders, and making sure that every legislation that you pass benefits private companies. Yeah. That's the problem.
You do realise we're not going to get any government handouts for this.
No,
for this anymore.
Exactly.
Like any music funding is gone now.
Yeah. Well, I don't want it.
Yeah. But if there's any private companies out there that want to sponsor us, my sort code and account number is.
We might get cancer research.
That's the one. That's the one to have. That's the one to take money from.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I mean, the guy who what did he retire in was it £1 million house in London or something?
Really?
Like that?
Like what? Like the owner, the CEO?
He was like the CEO or something, and he's retired in I think it might be like £2 million house in central London. And when you think about it, it's like...
But he ain't going to live in a grovel, though, is he? I mean, it's a big company.
Yeah,
charity.
Exactly, it's a charity. I mean, if you retired him in a 3-bedroom house, fair enough, in somewhere that's pretty modest, but a £2 million house, I'd rather... Like, people have paid that money to see that go to cancer research, and he's retired on it.
Yeah.
Bastard.
So some of that money that was... Well, I say some, quite a lot of that money that was...
Exactly.
Given one year's gone straight to his house.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a shame.
It is. And that's the problem with the world.
Greed, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
That is bad.
Yeah.
It is bad. So just one more thing before we close it up. I mean, what were we at? About 35 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
That won't be correct with the time. I'll just say it. I say it every time. I say we're at a certain time, and then when we're editing this, I'll say 35 and it'll say like 21.
Yeah, it will be much shorter, yeah.
But yeah, so before we sort of sign off, and because we've said our bit about politics and our thought on youth, something that I've been looking into as a potential sort of sideline or something to go into as a sort of second career or something alongside this is mentoring.
Yeah.
And we've mentioned Colin before on this podcast.
Colin,
the guitarist in my function band.
Yeah.
He's a mentor, and it's like youth mentoring. And he does it as like obviously sort of just because he was basically an ex-cop, quite high up in the police academy or whatever you call it. Not the academy.
Police academy, is that in our film?
In the police force. Anyway, so he does mentoring now. In fact, I'll plug his website, csmentoring.co.uk.
What's Colin giving us for this?
Colin is giving us a high five.
Colin, listen, if you're listening, I want a new hat for this. It's your choice. Your choice of hat. But
don't do it, or
I'm cutting it out.
But then this bit's pointless. So I don't know what we would speak.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm cutting it out anyway. Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, so he does youth mentoring. He does youth mentoring in sport as well because he's got a massive interest in football. Going back to the old football thing. Anyway, so I've been speaking to him, and I said, realistically, like, because he also trains people to be mentors. I said, from my point of view, and something, because I'm a musician, I can play multiple different instruments. Is there a realistic possibility that if I was to sort of work with you or get trained with you on one of your courses, is it possible that you can do mentoring in music like you do mentoring in sports?
Yeah.
And he said basically, yeah, the fact that you can play the instruments,
I told you no, get out.
If he really knew how I could play.
Yeah, I'd be like, get out my office now, or I'll punch you. Well, that's it.
But and basically, because I don't know if there's a shortage of mentors or a shortage of specialist mentors.
Yeah.
Because my thoughts are that to be able to go into these communities and to be able to show something that I love doing in a way that isn't about gang violence and just, it would.
You don't want to bring that in.
But the thing is, the way that I would run it and like to do it is
you'd walk in,
you sit down with
pistol whip the kid straight away.
Yeah.
That's what it'd be like if I was into gang violence.
I'll walk in with a limp, low trousers.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
I'll be holding my crotch. I'll have a cap on. I'll walk in like. Obviously, they can't see that, but
no, they can't. Yeah. You'll have a limp.
I'll walk in, like all gangster like.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell them about prison.
Yeah, tell them about prison.
Yeah, I'll be prison Dan and a bit on
teach
the
them how
US
to make a shiv.
And the worst thing about prison, the Dementors.
The Dementors. Yeah.
If anyone's watched US Office, they'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah. So my point is that the reason I wanted to speak about this is because it's something that I've actually got an interest for. Is actually hopefully influencing and showing youth that they can.
Do you believe that children are the future?
No.
Okay.
They are obviously the future, aren't they? They're going to grow up and they're going to be there in the future. So
teach them well and let them lead the way.
Yeah. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, let them work
alongside, work in
sweatshops,
McDonald's. Yeah. Let them work in McDonald's.
Children are the future. Let them work in McDonald's.
Exactly. Yeah.
Although, I mean, apparently it's a friendly workplace.
It is actually.
So they say, and good rate of pay.
Is it good rate of pay?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, in comparison to like any other retail,
fast food chain.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but in terms of retail as a whole, like not just food, like clothing retail and all that.
McDonald's is preferable.
Apparently, it's up there. I mean, I don't know.
Not from experience.
Also, just to state that other fast food vendors are available.
Yeah, especially Anyway, off topic.
That's all we seem to do.
But yeah, Colin, get in here. Be a mentor. Dan wants to be a mentor.
Basically, I think we should be doing something about
the youth.
I'm not saying that youth. There's a large majority of people that have picked up instruments and that are learning stuff and doing interesting stuff and aren't just hanging around on the street.
Yeah.
But there is an increase in that as well. Like there is an increase of young people just doing fuck all.
Bloody kids.
And like listening to music that they don't really know anything about.
Yeah.
That's influencing them. And that's that really.
That is that really, yeah.
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 I mean, and I'll say this every week. If you've got any thoughts on it, pop them down in the comments. Whatever you're listening to this on, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube. Yeah,
basically, all the time. Yeah,
but I doubt anyone will. Quite frankly,
no.
But if you do, we'll send you something.
Colin will send you. Colin will buy you something.
Yeah, Colin said.
Colin actually said, he's contracted to this. He'll buy you a new hat,
but you have to work out who he is.
You have to
find him first.
Yeah,
that is the
you have to send him a piece of post.
Yeah, there's going to be a riddle as well.
I'm going to put his address in the comments. So just
I don't even know his address.
No, I don't either. Yeah. I don't even know him.
No, exactly. So, you're just going to have to guess what he looks like.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I'll find him.
Again, gone well off topic.
Yeah, anyway, we've I
think we've done it. You're not feeling well anyway, are you?
I'm not. I feel awful.
No.
I'm struggling.
We've got a few valid points in there amongst a load of shit.
Yeah, we'll probably retouch on this at some point.
Yeah, I think when you're feeling a bit better.
Yeah, when I can talk.
Fight the power.
Fight the power.
Yeah, also, I don't know. Yeah, we'll go with that as an ending.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah.
I remember, just a quick one, subscribe, like, share. AudioStage is important for the artists. It's a platform where they can where artists can grow and not get mugged off.
Yes.
Because it costs them nothing.
Exactly.
Cool. Right, we shall see you in the next one.
Bye.
You go and get some strepsils.
Thanks, yeah.
See you later.
Cheers.